Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome into the building. I'm glad to see you here. I could not do this recap last night because I went to see my husband in the movies, honey. I went to see Creed 3, a great, amazing movie. Okay. And y'all know how to get your ticket on this train ride, right? All aboard, guys. Choo choo. And listen, your ticket is that like button. That's the only thing you need to do. Hit that like button, and that's your ticket until the building. Okay, we're gonna talk about this Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 3. We got lots to talk about. I'm aboard this train. And then Black Panthers, I'm going to talk a little bit about this situation, which is extremely sad. But let's board this train. Hey, E.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Choo choo. All right, now thanks for boarding the train tonight. Hey, to Don.
What up, everybody? What up? What up? It's gonna be a big night. Lots to talk about
tonight. Big night, big night. Hey, Denzel.
How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm glad. Thanks for stopping by.
It's no problem. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. So let me talk about this before we get into this Real Housewives of Potomac recap reunion part 3. Black Panthers, when I saw this, I'm thinking how sad, right? So you said prayers go out to the families of the 2 Americans slain in Mexico. Listen, I don't care if the resort is $1 per night and it's all inclusive. I'm not going to Mexico. I'm good.
I know that's right.
Okay. And then on top of that, too, I think this trend of these surgeries is too much. And then my thing is, if you're going to do it, save up your money so you can get it done here in the U.S. I can give you a whole bunch of stories, but save your money so you can get it done here in the U.S. because at the very least, let me tell you something about these plastic surgeons. They do not like to touch someone else's work. So if you go over to wherever and you get something done and then you come back and it's messed up, you don't want to have to be trying to, maybe you can't even fly back because you may not be well enough. But either way, you don't want to have to go fly back and try to get them to fix it. And trying to get a plastic surgeon here to fix it is going to cost you the same amount of money anyway that you would have paid in the beginning. Stay here. If you're going to get the plastic surgery, stay here and get it done. Save up your money. I don't know, save up years and years of checks, but this is sad. So because it said that the story I read, I think one of them was going over there to get plastic surgery, and I think the other 3 were just supporting, going with the person, and they thought that it was a mistaken identity. And thank God 2 of them survived. The other 2 were killed. So incredibly sad. My heart breaks. This story is so sad. Do your homework, save your money, and get a quality medical physician. That part right there. So I'm not saying don't do it. Do whatever you want. I'm not mad at you, but do your homework for sure. Get a quality medical physician and stay here in the U.S. and get it done. It's just very sad. My heart breaks for that situation in that story. All right, guys. Oh, wait, hold on. We got another one boarding the train late. Hey, Shan. We almost pulled off without you.
I almost ran down the train, honey, for the first time in my life.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh. Hey, E. I didn't even realize that was you.
Yes, because I have the person who triggers everybody as my default picture right now.
I know.
And my default pictures are the women that Jamal Bryan have been with allegedly.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Diva, real quick, since we're talking about trips and stuff. My boyfriend want to go to Colombia, and I'm like, honey, I say you going by yourself because listen, I'm scared.
Yeah. No, you know what? Things can happen anywhere, but if you know that there seems to be things happening in certain places a lot, steer clear until they get it together. Plus, I'm done with Mexico, and 2, they decide that they're going to do something about this Shanquilla case. So you know what?
Exactly.
That part right there, right? So I'm done with them. Like I said, the resort could be $1 all inclusive. I'm not going. I'll pass. So let's get into this reunion part 3 for the Real Housewives of Potomac. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. They could stop with the foolery of making these reunions 3 parts for no reason whatsoever. This part 3 was okay. They didn't have to make it 3 parts. They could have squeezed this into 2 and make the 2 longer. But anyway. So Jacqueline comes out, right? And Jacqueline she's beautiful. I like Jacqueline, but Jacqueline, I think she came on trying to do too much for a friend, and it backfired in the worst way. Now, listen, guys, I'm not good with technology. Next time I'm gonna have to catch it when I see it. I want to say it was last night when I got home from the movies. I saw this video that Jacqueline did. She must have put it in her story. So I thought I was going to be able to look at it the next day. So it must have been in the stories. And I guess in your Instagram stories, do they drop? Like, do they fall off after a while?
Yeah,
24
after
hours.
24 hours. Unless you put it in your highlight and save it. Yep.
Well, that's why. Well, I missed out. She must have had it in her stories, and she was in Wildwood, New Jersey, and she was like on the beach, and she was really saying this heartfelt message on how she is just missing Mia. And it's so sad that they had the breakdown that they had. I think that these two, they had a plan, and the plan backfired. And my thing is, all money is not good money. You're going to tear down a whole friendship for a check? Was it really worth it at the end of the day? So Jacqueline comes out and doesn't say a bunch of nothing. All she really kind of tells us is that her and Mia lied. Their whole storyline, everything they showed us this season was nothing but a big fat lie. So Jacqueline was mad because Mia put in a group text to everybody. And this is, to me, Mia wanted the other ladies. I think the other ladies ended up connecting to Jacqueline. I think it pissed Mia off. And I think Mia ended up writing in the group text all kinds of crazy stuff about Jacqueline so that the ladies would feel some type of way about her. So she sent the group text saying that Jacqueline's house was in foreclosure, saying that Jacqueline needs to worry about her food stamps. And so Jacqueline came out and said Mia was never the CEO of the company. Gordon was. Also said that, Mia was not with her mother on Mother's Day. And Mia's like, yeah, that's right. I FaceTimed her. This is all a joke to Mia. Mia, she just comes and she lies. But now I really feel like, yeah, you said Mia be lying. I think they all lie. I think they're saying this is reality TV, but I think so much of it is made up. At this point, we don't know the truth from a lie with any of those ladies, right? They said, Jacqueline and Mia said they never slept together. Jacqueline also said Gordon did not buy her Porsche. She bought it herself. And she said that, what else did she say? Oh, she said that, Mia wanted that narrative. Mia wanted that storyline. So she went along with it. So she seen that going along with this ridiculous storyline, it made her look stupid. But not only that, Mia really started to run with it and make her look so foolish. Because here's the thing, when you tell one lie, you got to keep covering it up. And that's why you should never tell a lie, right? So Mia was saying that she got pissed at Jacqueline because Jacqueline is the only one that knew about Gordon's prostate cancer, that he's a prostate cancer survivor. And Gordon can't do some things. Now, listen, we ain't gonna get into it over here, okay? But she said Gordon can do some things. Jacqueline's the only one that knew about that. And she felt like Jacqueline was kind of using that against her when Jacqueline said that Mia needed some sexual healing. I'll say it that way, okay? Jacqueline says she can pay for her own stuff. She doesn't need Mia. And, Mia said that Gordon helped Jacqueline. Gordon helped Jacqueline and, with her LLC or whatever the case may be. And Jacqueline's like, stop it. I help myself. So I'm going to come around and see what y'all thought about that scene. So Paige, thank you for the super chat. Diva, did you see Chris' interview about him getting an anonymous DM about production, making up more allegations about Chris? I didn't watch that. Someone sent me the interview page, and thank you for the super chat. I did not watch Chris' whole interview because I think I gotta go back to my email to see who sent it to me. So thank you if you're out there and you sent me that interview that Chris did with some other podcasters. I watched a lot of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But I do believe they was going to make up more allegations about him. And I got a better understanding about Chris, which I'll talk about when we get to Chris. But thank you for that. But that's sad. My thing is, you really going to destroy somebody's life over a check? That's like gutter low to me. Thank you, Paige. I appreciate that. So E, I'll come to you. What do you think about Jacqueline? And do you think Jacqueline should come back as a full-time cast member? A lot of people are wanting Jacqueline as a full-time cast member, but I mean, they both liars. Like, what do we want one liar over the other? What are your thoughts?
No, I don't want to see Jacqueline full-time. Forget about it. And if G really helped Jacqueline with her LLC, then she'll probably be in ruins. So the only person I want to help me with my the only person I want to help me with my LLC is Michael Darby. Sign me up for that course.
That part.
Let me start by saying this. I do hope that Mia and Jacqueline can work it out. But I have to say, and I love everybody on this panel. Of course, Shan and the Don, I love you, and I'm still getting to know
I love you.
The newer person, but y'all gonna be mad at me tonight. Mia is a victim of circumstances. Okay, she's not doing anything different than what they all do. Just like Diva said, and Robyn confirmed it. They all hear rumors, and they drum it up once the cameras start recording. Jacqueline
but she's
is
getting
no
on the
different.
verge of pathological, though. It's levels.
They're all pathological. And see, they came on here for their 15 minutes, Jacqueline, and it did not sway my opinion, them breaking her out. So I wish they wouldn't have brought her. I did not feel sorry for Jacqueline. I believe 10,000% Jacqueline sleeps with married men. I do believe that. And I believe Mia was on the FaceTime with Jacqueline's mom for an hour. So what? I also believe Mia spared Jacqueline by not revealing the text messages in that box of Jacqueline saying she sleeps with married men. And it was really unattractive, in my opinion, for Wendy to keep chiming in every 2 minutes and trying to hype it up with the oohs and ahs and the send me the receipts girl. See, this is what Robyn was talking about, being an agitator. It's not Wendy's scene. It's not Wendy's package. Candiace and Wendy tried to micromanage that sit down between Jacqueline and Mia. And I really wanted Mia and Candiace. I wanted Candiace and Wendy to sit all the way back, because when it was time for them to speak up on the last episode, when it came up on colorism, they were quiet as church mice. But we'll talk about that later on. So that's all I have for Jacqueline and Mia. I hope they work it out.
That part. You are correct. Dadon, you're up. What do you think about Jacqueline and Mia?
I think it was a loser scene. They could have Skyped her in. She could have wore something from the waist up, because they showed everything that she was going to say in the previews.
They sure did.
Everything that she was going to say was on the previews leading up to reunion episode 3. So why was she there? It was pointless. Yeah, I don't understand why she was there. And then she just proved that they lied. She said, "I lied for you." She literally said that out her mouth. So I just don't understand. I don't understand why they even brought her. It's just pointless scenes now.
You are correct, and that's why I'm telling you, I'm almost over this reality TV, because it's anything but reality. What we are getting the real on, and I'm gonna recap that on Thursday, is that SWV and Candy escape show. Now we getting the real there about people stealing people money. That's reality. That's what we want. We don't want this nonsense of these made up stories, and everybody now wants to be sleeping with each other. It's just messy. Grown women showing their poom pooms. It's just messy, and it's not giving us any substance. Shan, what do you think about Jacqueline and Mia and finding out that they just made up everything? Everything was just a lie.
I think both of them need to be fired. I don't want to see Jacqueline back. Up until this moment, I was feeling bad for Jacqueline. Like, oh, your friend, betrayed you. But girl, you damn near 40. Excuse me. You almost 40. And you come on this national TV to lie for what? Like, did Mia put a pow pow to your head to make you lie? I don't feel bad for her. I'm looking at them as Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I don't want to see none of them back on my screen, especially Mia, because yeah, everybody, you know, say some stuff here and there. But at first she said she was with Jacqueline's mother. Then she said, oh no, I FaceTimed her. Girl, I'm getting sick of you. I'm sick of both of them. I don't feel bad for Jacqueline. You're a grown up. Now you're on national TV looking like a liar. Like, did Mia pay you like $200,000? Even that's not enough for me to ruin my reputation. Now I look like a liar because of you. And then you throw it in my face after. Both of them can go. And I agree with the guy who just spoke. It was pointless. She wasn't needed. It was boring.
Yeah, stay full of lies. Yeah, Denzel, what are your thoughts?
No, I agree with everybody. You know, I thought Jacqueline was the real deal, but she's not. She's a liar, just like Mia is. And somebody said that somebody says she misses Mia. Is that true?
Yes.
That's what I said, because she did a story. And listen, you know why? Because they've been friends for real for a long time. I mean, Mia grew up, you know, she lived with Jacqueline's family. Like, they was thick as thieves together.
They were like sisters.
They were like sisters. And somebody else said, listen, birds of a feather flock together. And that's why I do believe that Jacqueline sleeps with married men. And that, you know, was in love with a married man. And I think that she did not like that narrative about her came out on the show, right? So she was pissed about that. So her and Mia, if you remember during the season, Mia, I forgot, was it I think it might have been at Robyn and Giselle's show, right? Mia, and they were trying to talk to Jacqueline, they were trying to talk to Mia, and Mia said, well, me and Jacqueline, we didn't talk about that. Oh, she's telling that. So that leads me to believe, like, now seeing the end result, and I'm saying they was lying. So they went beyond their own lies. Right. They went beyond their own lies. It was like, oh, okay, that's what you're telling now? We didn't talk about that. It was like almost before every scene, they kind of talked about, you know, what lie they was going to tell and what narrative they was going to put out there. Mia and Jackie better flock together, and the guilty flee where no other man will go. Lying on purpose. For what? You know what? They were lying so Mia could get that check. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So you're saying that they were getting together before filming to discuss the lies they were going to tell, similar to Robyn and Giselle, eh?
Sounds familiar.
That part. The whole cast needs to stop lying. Yes. Go ahead, Denzel. I'm sorry.
You know, no, we need real storylines. We need them to keep it real. But Mia and Jacqueline, they don't know what keeping it real means. They just need to go. It's ridiculous.
Denzel, they're not the only ones, though, Denzel.
Yeah, it's other. I'm telling. Some people saying that they need to just recast the whole show. You know, because all them be lying. They be lying.
If you have to recast the whole show, just scrap the whole franchise and go to a new city.
Well, you know what? They did that. They did that for New York, right? They recast the whole show.
Well, New York hasn't come back on yet, but hold on. I want to bring the train back on the track. Let's talk about Charisse. You know what? Somebody said earlier, the comment, I think, before I even started the show, sitting down, Charisse dress did look good. I'll give her that. Her daughter is beautiful. Her daughter was backstage. I don't know if y'all caught that. Her daughter looks just like Charisse, a gorgeous daughter. So Shasha comes out, and you know, this whole third part was kind of almost a waste of time, right? Because she didn't say a bunch of nothing either. She claims in the divorce it was 50-50. That's not what the street said, but if she says she got 50%, then, you know, I'll roll with her. She got 50%. But the street's not saying that, because the street says she had to move out that house after she done spent all that money on the champagne room. She had to end up moving, and that she really downsized, and that she doesn't even live anywhere near Potomac. But
maybe she wanted a smaller house for one person.
Maybe so, maybe so, but why waste all that money on the champagne room? But okay. So she said she got 50%. Now I will say this, and I love me the grand dame, okay, Karen. But Karen be lying too. That's why we said they all be lying. Karen got caught in so many lies because she said,
She
she
sure
wasn't
did.
friends with Charisse in 5 years, but yet Charisse was invited to a 55th birthday party. Now, one thing I'm going to say, if no cameras are rolling, and I'm definitely not your friend, and I'm not obligated to work with you, you're not coming to my intimate 55th birthday party. Not going to happen. I think it is proven. I'm going to give this to Charisse. I don't think that she went to Karen's mother's funeral to clout chase. I think she legit was trying to support a friend and go to her mother's funeral. I really don't think that. Also, Karen invited her to her Ladam opening or something like that. So Karen is selective. What's his name? Chris Rock says selective outrage. Karen is selective friendships or selective memory. Okay, she wants to remember what she wants to remember when she wants to remember it. That's what we're going to say with Karen. Selective memory. Okay, because you done invited this girl within the 5 years you claim you didn't know her, didn't see her, wasn't friends with her. You invited her to your 55th, to your Ladam opening or your whatever party you had, and she did go to your funeral. Then you're going to talk about she wasn't invited. What's that guy named that Matt? Matt invited her. You could tell Matt no, so stop it, Karen. You're so full of it. But Charisse, she came out there too and didn't really have no receipts. Where is the picture of Green Eyes? This is the reunion. Bring the heat, bring the smoke. You wanted to talk about Green Eyes. You wanted to talk about how she was sleeping in bathrooms with people, and you came and sat on that couch. What did Charisse say? Besides that, she got 50% in her divorce. What did Charisse say? Talk about Charisse. Denzel, I'll start with you. I'll start at the bottom this time. Why was Charisse there on the couch?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know. They should have zoomed her in too.
We got two people that should have been on Zoom, Charisse and
Yeah.
Jacqueline. Because they both was only on that stage for 2.2 seconds, but I think
Yeah,
Charisse
it's a race. It was a. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you're
No,
fine.
it was a waste of time, waste of wardrobe and all that. It was a waste. It was just a waste.
Mm-hmm,
Honey, you call that wardrobe?
Who
They
child?
tried.
Yeah.
They tried. Mary, you said stop. I said selective memory, selective outrage. Okay, I'll stop. Shan, what are your thoughts? Why was Charisse there? What did she say?
You know what? I see why Mia came in as Karen's friend, because they both be lying. The only difference between y'all's grand dame is to catch her lies, you have to really listen. Like, she doesn't get choked up on her lies like Mia does. That's why she was never my grand dame. And I know I'm going to get dragged for this. But Karen lies a lot too. Or she backpedals, or she forgets. And it's not cute at your age. It's not. But Charisse, I actually like Charisse, I'm like the 1% in the world who like Charisse. I like her because I feel like she's the one who's giving her real self. She's not trying to put on for the camera. She's very, boring and tired. And that's really her, So I respect that she's giving us some realness. You could tell Charisse is being her friend. She is being her real self. She's not trying to put on or anything. She's just a little boring. It's better than listening to these liars all day. I feel
but wait, Shan. Hold on 1 second. Charisse said Karen was in the bathroom. She sleeps with anybody. She's being her real self. She's being. Where was the receipt?
That's how she felt. That's how she felt at the time.
I don't believe that.
It might not be
I don't
true.
believe it.
She should have said allegedly. You know what though? But yes. I knew this proved what I've been thinking the whole time. Karen is a liar, but because she dresses nice and she acts like she's above it all, no one believes she lies. She lies. Charisse, I don't really want to see her on my TV, but I don't dislike her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could take her or leave her. Right.
You know what, LLO, you are correct. She got 50% of what he had left. I like that. I can get with that. What
But
do you
it's
think
the
about
fact.
Charisse?
Charisse came on the reunion and literally said, I said those things because you said those things. That's what she said.
She did say that.
Charisse made up all that stuff because of what Karen was saying or not saying about her. So this seems like she literally said it. So, like I said previously, with that picture deal, if that was a picture of Karen, she signed a release to have her face on Bravo, to have her person on Bravo. They would have showed that picture. Like they showed other pictures in phones before.
I agree. Yep. True.
They never showed the picture. So it wasn't Karen. They rolled with that. You think those messy Potomac producers would not have showed that picture?
You are telling facts. You are correct. You are correct. That's true. That's true.
They never showed it because it wasn't her. And they went on with that whole storyline that she was sitting at the bar with somebody. And we still, like you said, I'm still waiting on that picture. They never released it. And they would have released it at the reunion. But the whole season,
they would have. Yeah,
it was never her.
Never heard. Charisse here looked horrible. She looked like Mickey from Babs. Listen, Charisse doesn't have the money like that to have a glam squad. And again, you wasted. Hold on one second, guys. Iris, I never seen you before. I'm the only one that could see you. You have to show me your face. Well, there you go. You could put it back on your avatar. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, Charisse was a waste of a moment, and so was Jacqueline. Was a waste of a moment. And like you said, we could have had them on Zoom, and they could have saved some money, and with the whole glam squad. And like you said, we could have saw them from the waist up. Y'all just played the foolery with them. I mean, Charisse came out there and said absolutely nothing, but she was another one that said pretty much, I lied. Yes. Anything else on before I move on?
Real Liars of Potomac. They need to change the name.
I'm good. Yeah, there's just too much lying. Everybody's lying for sport. Like,
liars.
Live your real life. What's really going on in your life?
Exactly. Keep it real.
Keep it real. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if Giselle, like Candiace said, maybe she didn't say it elegant enough, but I think that if Giselle would have gave us her real situation, her real life story, that she was going through, the fact that she needed to get this hysterectomy, I think so many people would have connected with her, because she even said, I got emails for the first time. You should have did that storyline the whole time versus trying to tear down Chris. I think it was sad. What are your thoughts on Charisse?
I'm going to say this quickly, and then my DoorDash is coming.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with the Don. If that was Karen in the picture, why didn't the man come out and tell it? Like Juan's woman came out and told it. Where are the receipts?
That part.
And somebody else called it about the 50%. I believe Charisse got 50% of everything, but 50% of nothing leaves nothing. And really, Charisse sounds like Mia. Charisse got that champagne wall put in, and then she had to leave the next week, just like Mia put in those hardwood floors, and she had to get out the next week too. So Charisse is just as broke down and thrown off as Mia and Ashley. And before I go get my order and come back for the next topic, it was so weird to me how everybody kept telling Charisse she looked like Skylar. Who the hell is Skylar? Like, I know there's her daughter, but Skylar looks like Charisse. Charisse is the mom. And if you really want to compliment Charisse and say she's beautiful, what an odd way to compliment someone, especially this is a friend you've known for years. I couldn't imagine somebody saying, hey, you look so good. You look just like your daughter. No, why not just say you look good? That was just so weird to me. And the other weird part was the camera kept flashing to Mia, sitting over there smiling at the camera, all blank like the Joker. That was so weird and uncomfortable. It wasn't flattering at all. They could have scrapped this whole scene. And I'm going to let you all have that while I go get my food, and I'll be right back.
Go get your food. Iris, listen, welcome into the building. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. What are your thoughts? What do you want to add?
Thank you, Diva. I think that this third reunion gave me we just gotta have a third reunion, so we just gonna pull in fillers here, and that's the tease the Jacqueline segment and Shaw segment gave me. We just got to put these fillers in. They're not going to add up to anything, but we just need some minutes to make this third reunion. She gave me nothing. We still don't know if Blue Eyes was true. We still don't know if the picture was actually Karen. It gave us nothing. It was just such a waste of minutes. And I think some of the other last week it said that they could have given those minutes to the colorism, segment.
That part.
But like I said, it did nothing for me. I mean, nothing.
It absolutely nothing. You're absolutely correct. It was a waste of our time. Everything we needed to see, they showed in the clip. And I think it's like you said, why are y'all forcing 3 parts? Just because I forgot the first 3-part reunion we had. I could be wrong, but I want to say is when that Candy and Phaedra thing happened, was one of the 3 parts, and it needed 3 parts, right? But I don't know that they're forcing it 3 parts, and I don't know why. The last person that did bring legit receipts was Monique. Okay, she had real true stuff. She had information. Everybody else is coming with the foolery ever since then.
And let me say this right quick, and I'll be done. I left this reunion feeling like so unsatisfied, so unfulfilled, so usually after most reunions you get closure and satisfaction. I got none of that, and it was just same let down. It really was.
You summarized it really nicely, right? Because we was waiting to see how they was going to address the colorism situation. They got an F for that, right? We was waiting to see how Chris situation was going to be handled, and that kind of fell flat. They're never ever going to hold Giselle to the cross for anything that she does. And so that is really what Candiace was trying to say. But Candiace gets fumbled up with her words, and I just sometimes want to shake her because I know what she means. She meant like Giselle is sitting here just acting as if like, oh my God, you made me feel uncomfortable, which is nothing, right? People feel uncomfortable every day. Sometimes people get too close to me. I'm like, yo, back up. Don't be breathing up right in my space. I'm feeling uncomfortable, but not to the point where I thought you was going to attack me or nothing like that. Like, come on, like it was just too much. And so Giselle got away with that whole reckless behavior against Chris. But what I found ironic, and I don't want to go into it too much now.
Wendy?
Well, not just Wendy. What I found ironic is he forgave Giselle so easily. But we'll get there.
That's my issue. That's my issue.
We'll get there. We'll get to that. So Karen, and Karen's scene, this was another one. It was like a waste of moment. It's like, why are we here? Why are y'all using up our time? So the whole scene with Karen fell flat. Her and Mia go back and forth, and she's like, you know what, give me the name because I'm going to sue. I guess that's the big thing now, right? We're going to sue, right? So she's like, give the name or give Andy the name, we're going to sue. And Mia goes, well, if you say it ain't true, then it's not true. We're just going to leave it there. So again, Mia, you just lied to be lying, okay? So you lied on Karen. The best part was when the men came out, I got to say, I love Ray, right? Ray has given me Greg Leakes vibes when he said that, listen, this whole season, I was disappointed in all the ladies, okay? Because pretty much all the ladies, y'all, they went gutter low with this situation. And he tried to say his boo, his wife, I ain't mad at him. He tried to say usually she rises above it. But, she had no choice but to get in the mix of it because how low everybody was going. And Ray told, and I do believe, because the blogs had it and everybody else had it, I do believe that Karen had the picture of the chick, but her man told her, don't go there. And I respect Karen for not going there. I respect her for that. So listen, what's her name? Juan will never show up for Robyn. And I think that, to me, all the single ladies, and that when I talk to single ladies, now it's Ashley, it's Giselle, and Robyn's married but single. That's the way I see that thing. Whatever it is they're doing, she's married but identifies as single because Juan identifies as single. I think that their whole situation is a hot mess. And he will never show up for her at these reunions. So my thing is, if y'all gonna play the foolery, y'all need to follow it all the way through. And if I was Bravo, I would tell Robyn, listen, your man ain't coming. He can never come. You better tell him next season that this is the day we're going to, this is the time frame in which we may do the reunion, and he need to be here. Your check is going to be reduced. That's just my thing. When Robyn talked, her whole situation was trash too. She wanted to talk about, yeah, we married, but I didn't put the infidelity clause in there because I may want to do something too. What newly married couple are people that are about to get married want to say that, you know what, I'm not going to put that clause in there because I may want to cheat too. I mean, the stuff that comes out of Robyn's mouth is just the dumbest things. And sometimes I'm wondering, like, girl, do you even care? I mean, I get it. You need the check. You want the check. But do you care what comes out of your mouth and what your children are hearing? And are you going to tell your children that, you know, this is all just for a check? I don't get Robyn. I don't get Juan. Like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Like, why are you just throwing your whole reputation in the gutter for this check? It's just, you know, it's crazy to me. Robyn asked Karen about the whole Juan situation, and you know, was she trying to accuse Juan of sexual harassment? And Karen was like, no, but he do need to keep his hands to himself. Just a mess. Eddie, Eddie, but see, you know, on the flip side, I'm saying Juan needs to come there, but they dragged the men there and they only speak to them for 2 seconds. He asked Eddie about being happy, Eddie, and Eddie's like, you know what, whatever. And so Gordon, you know what, now that I know that Gordon suffered with prostate cancer, I get his tears more when the whole debacle with Mia. I do believe that Mia had a medical emergency or a medical scare, so to speak. Did she up the scare? I do believe she did. But I also believe that G was very concerned about whatever it was that was going on with Mia, not because he's not a good dad, but I think that he's not ready or prepared, and nor should he be, so to speak, to take care of those kids without Mia, right? So it scared him, and G was crying, and he pulled on my heartstring a little bit, right? G is messy because he said, you know, he fooled around with a couple of girls, but you know, he pulled the Bill Clinton thing. He said he did not penetrate these women. Okay, so he didn't penetrate them. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw in here while we doing this scene with the men. I'm going to go ahead and throw in here, you know, when Chris came out. Chris waited 10 months or however long to address Giselle. Even told Giselle, shut up, because this is my time. You had your time. Chris had all of this energy in one little look from Giselle, and she burst his bubble, and he deflated, and he's like, all right, I accept her apology. You know what, Chris? Stop. I can't with you. Like, what was that about? Like, it was the silliness for me. And
pretty privilege.
And listen, and Candiace tried to, because Candiace still was pissed at Giselle. And I'm going to say rightfully so, right? So Candiace tried to, you know, cut Giselle, you know, with a knife, so to speak, and tell her that you're just reckless. I think what Candiace was trying to tell Giselle is, you're reckless. You are so used to getting away with doing everything on this show and nobody ever holding you to the cross for it. And so that's why you do what you do and you don't care what comes out of your mouth, because no matter what, you will never lose your job. You will never lose this platform unless they just, you know, are not doing the Real Housewives of Potomac anymore. I think that's what, you know, Candiace wanted to say to Giselle. And I got to say this, and we'll talk about it. Your girl, Wendy. Now, listen, don't y'all be coming for me in these comments, okay? Because I ain't got nothing against Wendy. So don't
she's not my girl no more. Just so you know, she's not.
That part. When you want to come for Candiace, it's almost like, okay, you still want these girls. You want to be on these girls' sides. These girls don't care nothing about you. If you wanted to check Candiace, if anything, what Wendy should have did was revamp the words of which Candiace was really trying to say. But instead, Wendy, you jump on their side, told Candiace that she wrong, and then I was done. I really wanted to shut off my TV, but I continue watching, and just so we can have our chat together, and I'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna lie, Wendy pissed me off in that moment. But I'll get your thoughts when we go around. Trent, thank you for the super chat. You said Andy said he saw the pic and it was Karen. Remember, he did say that he saw the pic and it was Karen. And Karen said, yeah, she was just sitting at the bar and eating. But I'm still questioning, like, why they didn't show it, and you could have blurred the guy out. And I'm thinking y'all didn't show it because she wasn't like up on no guy. She was probably just sitting there eating like two normal people, and that's it. Boom, bam. So, but that's just my thoughts. So, but thank you, Trent, for that reminder. I do remember him saying that. If Katie comes back, then someone needs to go. It won't be Robyn though. Jakima, Katie's not coming back. Katie, I was rooting for her, but she's unhinged, to say the least. Okay, Katie is unhinged, and she's a liability. They can't bring her back because they serve too much alcohol and all of that stuff, and she doesn't need to be around that. She needs to be somewhere healing. Let me start with you, Iris. What do you think about those scenes that I just mentioned?
Diva, I thought the same thing. When Wendy made that comment, I could have just cut it off and said nothing. I mean, that was the end of it for me. But let me just back. Chris, he failed us he failed us
Didn't he know?
Because I wanted him and his wife to be a united front. Candiace was given all the smoke, and there was a lot of controversy on what she said, but I 110% agree with what she said and how she said it, because I believe it was true, in my opinion. I did not like Chris to say, well, I forgive you. I mean, even when Candiace said, well, I don't, I wanted him to come back and say, well, you know what? She right. I don't either. I just felt like there was a division in that, because Candiace was going hard for her man, and she cut Giselle in half. But you know what? Of course, Giselle is coming back next season. But, if I was Candiace, she would have a storyline, because her storyline would be defamation of character, and I would be suing her. That would be her storyline next season. Because, I mean, Chris, said how he's lost jobs, opportunities, family looking at him crazy. And, and I mean, that stuff like that just don't stop just because the season stopped, So I feel like they should, because Bravo is not going to stop it. Bravo is not going to rein Giselle and Robyn in. So you're going to have to do it in a way where they say, okay, they mean business. I can't just say what I want to say and defame people's character and get away with it and think it's cute. And, but they're going to have to, put some kind of monetary responsibility on them. And that will be her storyline next year. Wendy, I need for Wendy to pick a side. If she's going to be with Giselle in the game, then that's fine. But you can't be doing this flippy flop. She should have, even if she felt that way, which I don't see how she should have felt the way she felt, I wouldn't have said it. I would have just sit there, be quiet, and let Chris and Candiace have their moment. But she didn't. To me, she threw them under the bus when she made, come back. And it was
I felt that way. I felt that way 100%.
And it just made me so angry, because I'm like, you guys could be really on top in this particular franchise, but they won't band together, because Wendy kind of pick me vibe, please let me be a part of the clique, but anyway, I was disappointed in this segment, to say the least.
I was too. So Amani, who are you saying Carlos says she's the richest of the cast?
Shaw.
She is. Really?
I think he said Shaw was the richest of the cast. She had all the money. I think I saw that the other night, and I was shocked because she doesn't give me all the money.
Maybe in the first season.
But yeah, she doesn't give me all the money in this season vibes at all.
No, I don't feel that. I need to see the paperwork on that. I don't believe that. Right. Yeah, I want to see the paperwork. What are your thoughts?
I'm sorry, because I had two directions I wanted to go in, but I'll say Robyn for last, and I'll stick with this right now. And I just want to preface this by saying I have been coming on this panel, because I love you all in the comments, and I love Diva, but I've been taking a lashing from you all in reference to how I have been viewing Candiace. Oh, not you, Diva. But I've been getting a lashing for how I have been viewing Wendy and Candiace, and I've been telling y'all since the first episode of this season that Wendy is not who y'all think she is, and she wants to do the Phaedra Park. She wants to play both sides. Okay, I'm going to say this though, and because I know other people want to speak, I'll start out with something positive. I like all the husbands who were in attendance on Sunday. I think Eddie has a great personality. I think G comes across as genuine, and generally, I like Chris and Ray too. I'm going to say this though. I believe Giselle when she says she was uncomfortable during the conversation with Chris in her room. And I say that because Giselle told Robyn she felt uncomfortable off camera the same day, which Robyn confirmed during the season. I also believe Giselle when she says the door was not closed. I don't know about you all, but when Chris said the door was open, I've stayed at the Courtyard and the Residence Inn many times. I don't know any hotel rooms with doors that just stay prop wide open like that. That's nonsense. It's ridiculous. Chris lied about that, and then he tried to come back and clean it up and say the door was cracked because the little lock was in the way. Listen, the door being cracked in comparison to the door being wide open is just a small little nuance of what. Don't put 20 on 10, Chris, because the public was already on your side, because people really don't like Giselle like that. So to just exaggerate certain things, I felt it was no reason to do that. What I did have a problem with is how hot Chris came in and how infuriated he was when he spoke about his colleagues, the family members and the children questioning his character after seeing the show, but how easily he simmered down and accepted Giselle's blanket apology. I've never in my life seen a man who was so devastated about his credibility and character being tarnished in that way, and then turn the other cheek so quickly and so easily. That told me that his colleagues and family and kids weren't that hurt and upset by Giselle and Ashley's comments. And if it's no big deal to Chris, then it's no big deal to me. What have I been telling y'all for these past few weeks? If the cast as a whole will not hold Giselle accountable, with the exception of Karen, then who the hell am I to be up in arms about it? I'm not going to be. And if people are really unhappy with their working conditions at the Real Housewives of Potomac, then they need to quit and sue the network. Otherwise, keep it on the playground. Because what I do, however, take exception with is Candiace. We just talked about colorism the last episode. And Candiace said it was no such thing as colorism. Those girls weren't colorists. And now she circles back when things aren't going her way and says, oh, it's colorism. You're exercising your white privilege over me. I found that comment to be very problematic and contradictory to what Candiace said the last episode. It was vindictive.
You know what, E? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. You know what? I had to give it to you. I'm gonna let you finish speaking. I gotta give it to you. You are right. She did start off that segment and say she did not feel any one of her cast members. You reminded me. Go ahead, speak. I forgot about that. She did say that. Continue on. Speak the truth. That's right. Continue on.
If she truly feels uncomfortable in the face of white privilege, then why didn't her white husband speak up at that point? Because does Chris feel it's colorism and that Giselle is exercising white privilege? To me, that would have been a powerful message had Chris called out Giselle for her proximity to whiteness as a white man married to a Black woman who is articulating that she is feeling discriminated against because of the color of her skin. But that didn't happen. So I'm not going to play this yo-yo with Candiace. I sat here and watched exactly what she did. And Wendy called her out. And Candiace, what I saw was being a provocative victim, and she holds those light-skinned women hostage to her black skin, and that's not fair. Once she didn't get the rise out of Giselle after calling her a bitch, after talking about her dwindling uterus, as she called it, because she had already sucker punched Giselle with all the insults she possibly could. She won that battle, but she reverted back to that topic of colorism because she lost. Just like she does on Instagram and Twitter, Candiace needs to be removed from the cast because she makes slanderous comments that racially divide the fan base when it's convenient for her agenda. Then she cowers back when it's time to stand on the front line and talk about it. That's emotional manipulation, and she needs to pick another struggle. Not just Wendy, Candiace too.
No.
Well, you know what? Hold on, guys. I gotta let the Don in the building. I'm coming around. You know, I can admit you brought some facts that I did forget. She did say that at the colorism, the top of the conversation was she didn't feel any of her cast members. She said that any of her cast members were colorists. She did. You okay? I forgot about that. Thanks, E, for that jogging my memory.
Thanks, E.
The Don, what are your thoughts?
So I'm going to start with Robyn. Robyn clearly has a marriage of convenience. Anytime you can say, I didn't put cheating in the the paperwork, right? Because I might do it too, the prenup, because I might wanna. That tells me you've been doing it all the time, and you have nothing within you saying that you want to stop doing it. You all have an open marriage, and it's going to continue now that you all quote have paperwork that no one can seem to find. But you all been had this open relationship for years and years and years, and you don't want to stop, because anytime you've waited 7 years to get remarried, you don't want to change your behavior, you don't want to change your ways, but you just want to leave that part out, not because of him, but because of you. That spoke volumes. You know, usually they're pointing the finger at the man because he cheats, because he does his dirt. But she said it on national TV that she may want to step out on her husband. I was floored. I was floored when she said that. I laughed so hard, because this is what people have been saying the entire time. Karen's been saying this the entire time. The relationship isn't real. It's for convenience. And me personally, I think it's for the boys being in the same home with both of their parents. That's just the way I feel about it. Now, and
that's sad to hold a marriage together just for that. I'm gonna let you continue it on. Give me a minute. Trent, thank you for the super chat. Trent, I did turn around, but thank you, girl E. Thank you, girl E. She reminded me of some facts here, so I did turn around with this situation. You said if Giselle had called out Candiace's cousin, would that be okay though? Wendy was right to speak up. Candiace had no right, period. Based upon her own words, I will say that Candiace is being messy, but I did not say that at first, but I'm going to agree with you on that. Dadon, finish. Thank you, Trent, for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. Go ahead, Dadon. I'm sorry.
When Chris came on the stage, I wanted Chris to do exactly what he did, but I did not want him to give Giselle that leverage of forgiveness that quickly, because it was just like, bro, you came on the stage hot, and I agree with everything that you said and how you said it. I agree with it. The tenor and tone of his voice, I agree with it, because anytime you put those type of accusations on a man, a man never gets the opportunity to, say I was mistreated in this situation. Yes, I do believe Giselle felt uncomfortable with that talk. However, in that interview that Chris had with DJ Richie today, he said that they talked in the middle of the reunion. This wasn't at the end. So when they came back on stage and he was up on Giselle and they were speaking after the reunion when Nikki left from last season, that was after they had that conversation in the hotel room. So she didn't feel, so she didn't feel uncomfortable then, but that conversation we saw on TV, he said it didn't happen in those sequence of events. Like they had that conversation after Nikki left. And then
that's why she said, yes, I'm sorry, Don. That's why she said, she said, go, are they ready for us again? And
Right.
he said he was going to go back down and see. It makes sense. No,
Exactly.
okay.
So,
wow.
So yes, she may have felt uncomfortable, but that man was up on you and you didn't say a word. You sat there and talked to him. You didn't say, can you back up some? You can, so I'm just kind of, Giselle has lied so much on every man on that show.
Facts.
It's hard for me to take her seriously, even when I feel deep down in my heart that she was uncomfortable. It's hard for me to take her seriously. And Candiace rode for her husband like any man would want his wife to ride for him,
100%.
especially when it's going against a woman and he can't really say what he really want to say in the back of his mind. He wants his wife to step up and say those things. But bro, you back down as soon as she blinked those hazel eyes. Or green eyes. You back down,
Facts.
bro. And I did not appreciate that. I would have held that same smoke the entire episode, and you would not have been able to get me off of her. And it would have been me and my wife against the world.
That
Period.
part.
Me and my wife against the world.
You spoke a whole bunch of facts. We need to be thick as thieves. You can't come out here letting me know you got all this heat. Then I'm like, babe, I got your back. Then as soon as I got your back, and like you said, she batted them green eyes and he fell apart. He fell weak to her because he saw that, you know what, she was defeated. He felt weak for her and said, okay, she apologized. I'm accepting the apology. And she didn't give no real apology.
She didn't give a real apology.
She did not. It was trash. I always hope I pronounce your name right. Is it Ali? Thank you for the super chat. Proximity to whiteness and colorism are two separate conversations.
Yeah, I do agree with that. However,
one umbrella, two separate
conversations. She messed up when you said none of the castmates were colorists. You messed up. You messed up, Candiace. You messed up. Because then you had no leg to stand on when you came back and said what you said to Giselle. I agree with everything she said and how she said it. But when E reminded me that the end of episode 2, you said nobody was colorist. And then you, on the other hand, you said white privilege. So did you not want to go that far, or did she piss you off to take you that far?
Right, and it's probably a mixture of her getting pissed off and a little pissed off at her husband. That now you comment, the smoke is gone. What happened? We pissed at her, boo. Why the smoke is gone now? But like you said, she batted her eyes. Hold on one second, Trent. Thank you for the super chat. Speaking of privilege, could Chris afford to live it? Now, see, don't do that. Don't do that, Trent. That house without Dorothy. Did he contribute to the wedding? Is he up on child support? Does. See, don't do that. See, you know what? I don't want to veer too far off the conversation, but I want to say this. Why is it fair that a female can come into a good situation and have nothing, but if a male comes into a good situation and has nothing, then he's just a straight bum? I don't want to veer off, so hold on. I just want to throw that out there. Let me move to Shan. Shan, did I come to you already?
No.
What are your thoughts on this situation?
I'm gonna skip the Robyn part because I'm tired of her playing in my face, and I just don't give Robyn anything. I have nothing for the girl. Next.
Yes.
You know what? Chris irked me so bad. Like, how dare you? Like, if I was Candiace, I would have been mad at him. How dare you come out here so heated and then, okay, I forgive you. I know Giselle is beautiful, but keep the same energy like everyone else was saying. And if I was Candiace, I would chill after that because I can't be more mad than you are for yourself. This is your reputation. You're a man. You got to be around kids. You have to be at your kids' school. Like, anybody could use this and be like, oh, he does this, da, 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 da. You never know. Like, your reputation is everything. I was so angry when he said he forgave her. And I wanted them to be a united front. You know, Giselle has a special gift. She has a gift of being like, she could be the worst human, but she knows just when to smile and be quiet. Now everybody's looking at Candiace as the victim. Everyone's looking at Candiace as, oh, she went too far. When this whole thing started over Giselle and her accusing her husband.
Of Giselle going too far.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I realized on social media. Everybody's saying Candiace went too far. Like, I know a girl like this once, who just knew how to be like a horrible person, but around the right people, she knew exactly how to be like, oh, okay. And it's like, whoa. So I was a little disappointed in Candiace. And y'all know I go up for Candiace. She is my favorite. She is the grande dame. But like he said, I was disappointed when she said there was no colorism. Then later she said, oh, wait. Like, I feel like Candiace could have said what she said better because she already knows the people don't like her. The people already expect her to act like this. A lot of people think she's immature. So I wish she had read Giselle for filth in a better way. And when I was watching, I was looking at Wendy like, damn, I see you for everything E said you was. Now Wendy is on my list too. I don't like her. There's no way we friends ain't gonna check me in national TV when you could text me later. You could call me, FaceTime me after and be like, girl, da da da. Or if you feel like I'm going too far, clean it up for me. Since you're the one with the 4 degrees, fix it.
I have one more thing. One more thing.
Yes, go ahead.
This is pissed me off.
I do, and I know I'm gonna get heat for this. I do kind of agree with what Wendy said because she said it on TV. She wanted her to correct it on TV, not for the other women, but for Candiace, because Candiace is not just a housewife. She has to go in other circles. She has to move in other circles. So correct her on TV. Let her know that, this is not what we just discussed. This is not appropriate. Try to fix it now so nobody will hold that over your head. I understand what people saying, Wendy, you should have stood with your girl, but I do understand her because you're supposed to check your friend.
Right. But she could have cleaned it up for her, said it, because Candiace get angry, and I feel like sometimes she forgets she's on TV. It happens to all of us. We forget where we are.
She gets angry and she minces up her words. Hold on one second, Shan. You know what? Derby Diva, you're connecting with the Dom because, as you said, he lessened his wife's voice when he accepted the fake apology instantly. You know what? Giselle batted her eyes. She batted her eyes, and he fell weak at the knees. It deflated him. He came out with energy. My family, my jobs, my this, my that. And she was like, I'm about to apologize. And he goes, okay. So hold on, because I need to let other people in this conversation. Iris, did I come to you on this?
You did. You got me.
Okay. Juice Radio, you're next. What are your thoughts? And then Denzel, I'm gonna come to you afterwards.
Hey, I'm trying to figure, do I need to be an emoji on here too? Everybody's with their emojis on.
Well, let me tell you who my emojis are. Those are the women who Jamal have been with while he was with Giselle.
Messy. I'm here for it though.
I'm a pass on that. Listen, I have 3 points I wanted to make. My first point was I was so laughing, and thank you, Diva, for having me on panel tonight. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate your channel. But I was laughing so hard when I saw Karen filing her nails with that big red filer. That thing took me out. I was like, Karen, did you get your nails done before you came to the show, girl? And it was big old red, not the metal one. That backed me up.
Messy,
and all loud by the microphone. Then the other thing I wanted to point out, I see a lot of people in the comments coming at Chris saying Chris should not have diminished and accepted the apology and so forth. But you guys have to look at the broader picture of what Chris was doing. This is on the heel of last week when everybody was talking about the colorism issue. Chris is a white man, the only white man besides Andy on that panel that's talking about the situation to all Black women cast on the heels of everybody talking about colorism. Chris, I believe, did the right thing for the position to say, okay, I'm going to accept your apology and not go in. Because if he would have went in as a white man to a panel of Black women after they're talking about colorism, I personally think that the social media viewers would have probably went more in on him. So I think he did the right thing. And I'm going to respect Chris for apologizing for accepting Giselle's apology. I'm gonna accept that because he didn't have to, but it gives me more of a respect to him. Now he can let Candiace go out there and fight the battles. He gonna bandage her up if he need to or help her fight later. But on television in that moment, Chris did the right thing because the backlash that he probably would have got because colorism is still out there. For a white man to do this or say this to a panel of Black women may have been a bigger issue. So kudos to him for that. And then Wendy correcting or trying to correct her friend Candiace, I think she should have done that because nobody was listening to Mia when Mia was trying to correct her. So I think it was good that Candiace was being corrected by her friend. And I believe one of the panel said on here that Wendy did that so that Candiace can have that on scene while the cameras were rolling instead of later on. Wendy was protecting Candiace at that point. Yes. I believe she really was. And I'm not even a Wendy fan, but Wendy did right. She was protecting Candiace to say, listen, you want to get ahead of this and fix this. But Candiace was, to me, acting a little childish. And I'm sorry to Candiace lovers. She was acting a little childish because Candiace was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, I hear you. But her friend Wendy was trying to protect her. That's my thoughts on it.
All right, so hold on, guys. I gotta let some people in. Okay, I'm hearing these different sides, and I'm hearing them. But hold on, Espoir, thanks for the super chat. You said Chris is like Tommy, and she's talking about from the Martin show. He ain't got no job and never did. Okay, all right. Somebody said, I was trying to hold up so I could see the comment because somebody said, Diva, no matter what Wendy do, you gonna hate her. That's not true. I do like Wendy. But here's the thing. We got to call a thing a thing. We have to do that. We got to call a thing a thing. Oh, here it is. Annette said it. Okay, Annette, I'm catching you. You said, Diva, no matter what Wendy does, you will always see fault in everything she does.
Thank
Annette,
you.
Come on,
that's fact. That's big fact. And I tell Diva all the time.
That's not true.
You got something against Wednesday. What did you have against Wednesday? Y'all, it is true.
Wait, can I say
Diva and E? Hold on. Diva and E and a couple of others, y'all always find fault in Wendy. Wendy can't do nothing right in y'all eyes. Even when she try, y'all always got to point out the negatives. But y'all let everybody else slide with they BS. Get out of here. Hashtag Wendy for Housewives of Potomac. Get rid of these green-eyed bandits who've been lying all season, not telling no truth about their life. Robyn running around here with her husband, running around with everybody, man, woman, and thing in the street. He allegedly messed with these boys at the school and let his assistant coach do it. And then Giselle running around here lying on everybody's marriage. I don't care if Chris made her feel uncomfortable because she has had no grace and mercy for nobody on this show. So she can be the most uncomfortable person in the world. No grace for you. I thank God that Chris has the grace and mercy to accept the apology, because if it was me, I don't have nothing for you. I'm giving you the hand to the face like Nene did. This all I got for you. Period.
Wait, Diva, can I say something in the words of the great Nene Leaks and Greg Leaks? Honk the horn on their ass. Toot toot. Boop boop. Bam.
Wait, Smoke, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
No, I'll say in the words of the great Nene Leaks and Greg Leaks, may he rest in peace. Honk the horn on their ass. Toot toot. Boop,
baby,
bam.
Another thing that pissed me off real quick, guys. Everybody was quick to defend Giselle. Like, Giselle, she has this gift where she'll always end up being the victim. Like, I don't know if it's her eyes, but you see, everybody came at Giselle's defense like she was the victim. No one stood up for Candiace, and that's why I was so mad at Wendy, because you could have just been like, da 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 da. I think what you're trying to say is da 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 da. Right, girl?
Hold on, guys.
Oh, I have so much feeling.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. You know, because Annette done started a whole firestorm, but I gotta let some other people in the building. Hold on 1 second. See, Annette, what you just did? But who did I? Denzel, let me go to you. What are your thoughts? And then I'm Smoking Emmanuel, I'm coming to you. What are your thoughts, Denzel?
Okay. You know what? I agree with Candiace when she called Giselle a good snipe B, because Giselle, she is an evil woman. And she's this is just me. She seems jealous of Candiace and Chris' marriage. You know, she needs to stop worrying about other people's man, and she need to go find a man on her own. Like, really, like Chris don't want her. And you know, I like Chris, but he should not accept her apology, because Giselle, she's fake. She's fake, and her apology was BS, and she can't be trusted.
It's those green eyes. Those green eyes get to people.
Yeah.
It gets to
See,
Wendy.
if
Wendy Royer, it gets to
yeah.
everybody.
But see, if I was Chris, this is me. If I was Chris, I would just told her to take that apology and take it somewhere.
Like his wife said before he came on,
Yeah.
she could up her,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
she needs. I'm sorry, Diva.
Go ahead. No, you're okay. Go ahead.
No, but Giselle, Robyn, they need to go. They just need to go.
They need to go. Emmanuel,
Yeah.
you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Hey guys, a couple things. First of all, you guys know I'm not a Candiace fan because I'm Team Monique, but I gotta say that the MVP of this reunion was Candiace Dillard Bassett, along with Karen and Wendy. Now, let me say this real quick though. That moment of having Wendy say, "Are you sure what you understand what you mean, Candiace?" I'm not seeing it as she was trying to correct her. I'm seeing it more as she was trying to let her explain and you know what I mean, go more in depth to make her point. Because if you just listen to it, you might not understand. But I think she wanted to give her that space to elaborate on it, if that makes any sense. Let's see what else. I don't think went too far. Matter of fact, I loved seeing Giselle uncomfortable because I think it's about time she feels uncomfortable for all the things that she's done. And yeah, I agree. I think Charisse, I don't.
Did we
and I don't
lose
think
you?
it was.
I think you broke up a little bit, Emmanuel.
I don't think it was. What was the last thing I said?
You're like going in and out. You said you don't think it's what? Emmanuel, he's going in and out, right, guys? I can't really hear him.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, maybe go out and come back in. Trent, you got to stop. Trent, you're killing me. You said Giselle apologized. She said, I'm about to apologize. I
come
can
get
go
your
watch
friend.
it again. Yeah, come get your friend, E.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I don't need to get Trent. Trent is 1000% correct. Chris did
Okay, hold up,
apologize to Candiace.
hold up,
He
E,
did.
hold up, E,
Candiace
hold
was
up, E, hold up, E, hold
Candiace
up,
was
E, hold up,
upset
E.
because Candiace had
E,
misdirected
you had a chance to
anger.
talk.
That's
Let me
what it
just get
was.
through this. Let me just get through this. Thank
Come on,
you.
Good
Trent.
child.
It will be up for debate afterwards. Okay. So I guess we're talking about the section where the husband come out. Okay, great. Yes, I feel like gutter snipe Giselle Chris should not have accepted any apology from that sucky bus demon. That woman
Exactly.
is from the pits of hell, and that's where she belongs. Because the way that she has acted on this show, and she has treated almost every other woman on that panel, coming after them directly, coming after their husbands, coming after their family with no kind of remorse or repercussions until it happens to her. I have no empathy or compassion for Giselle Lax Bryant. I think that whatever happened between her and Jamal is rightfully deserved, because evil doesn't just happen when you go through that kind of trauma. She was born that way and she was bred that way. So I just don't see it for. As far as for Robyn Trunchbull Dixon, I think that is the most. Karen had it right. That is the most ditziest itch at the table. The fact that you will sit there and defend a man after he has shown no kind of liking to you, has admitted on camera that if it wasn't for your children, he would have been left you. And then you had the nerve and the absolute gall in your gallbladder to sit here and hide the fact that this man was cheating on you. And the reason why you would sleep until 12 o'clock, the kids weren't getting their homework done, the dishes wasn't getting washed, and the laundry wasn't folded up. So as far as I'm concerned, her, Giselle, and who else is there? Let me see. Oh, Dollar Tree Diamond. I'm calling Mia that. She can go as well, because they bring nothing to the show.
Smoke,
boring.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Smoke, I will say this. You bring up a good point. I think all of those scenes with her being depressed and all that, I think it's because she knew what her man was out in the streets doing, and she didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You bring up a very good point. It was more to that story. Tiff, stop it, Tiff. Thank you for the super chat. She said, "Boy, you 2026."
Oh
Whatever,
wow.
whatever with that whole rant that he did. Whatever. Smoke. Did you finish your word? Is there anything else you want to say?
Let me see. Oh, and for Muffy head Ashley, she need to worry about whose dingaling Michael is probably slurping on right now while she's watching the baby kids at her $2 million house that she probably won't be in next season. She'll be back in the sweatbox like Candace said, because ain't no way that she's gonna be selling yoga pants or yoga classes or crunch bars to be able to afford that kind of lifestyle. So I wish her all the best. Hopefully she can go live with her mama and uncle up in that house, probably where in Georgetown. I don't know where she is, but probably live there and stay with the family.
Emmanuel's gonna donate to her GoFundMe. Don't worry.
Wait a minute, Velvet. Thank you for the super
the shade.
So I truly appreciate it. The what is this? The holla one. Thank you for the super chat. Why didn't Chris tell his wife he was in Giselle's room? He's not a victim. He's a willing participant. Well, see, okay. So here's the thing. Giselle, did y'all not see the footage? Thank you for the super chat. But did you not see the footage where he was talking to his wife? Giselle was in her phone. She looked up and said, "You mad?"
Yeah, I remember that.
He was up in the business. She was being friendly with him. He was talking to his wife. And then whatever he said to her, and then he said, so that gave him the invitation that, I could come talk to you later. Because, I'm pissed. I'm pissed about how that Nicki Minaj was questioning my wife and making my wife trying to sing. So he thought, he had a friend in Giselle. And listen,
right.
Chris did another interview with someone else. I didn't see the one with DJ Richie Sky. Go back and look at it. The interview somebody sent me, he was at it's two guys that was interviewing him. And it was like a room, and they was on the couch, and they was all talking. In that interview, Chris said he does not like the cameras. He does not like the film. And so before he films, he gets his little drink on so he can feel a little more comfortable. So, and he said, but unfortunately, the one season when he was getting his drink on a lot, people would now call him an alcoholic. So he can't win for losing.
Right.
So the night of the reunion, he probably was getting his drink on. So, but you knew that, Giselle. You knew that this man was toasty. And when he said he talked to you, you still said yes. You should have never suggested your room. What do y'all have to talk about that's so private anyway? You should have said, let's find a corner over here and let's talk. So he made you feel uncomfortable. Well, and she said, you put us in that uncomfortable situation. No, boo-boo. You have a role to play in this too. You had a part in this too. You knew the man was drunk, and you said, come to my room. And the minute your glam squad was in there, you've been like, oops, there ain't nobody here. Let's talk right here outside the door. Come on, you good and grown, Giselle. Stop. Thank you for the super chat. The fact that we're talking about food stands on any Housewives franchise tells me that Mia has to go. You talk about because Mia said, Ali, thank you for the super chat. Because Mia said that Jacqueline in the food stands. You know what? Mia has to go, but Mia now right? So they all lie. So she's not the only one. Who
Can
else
I say something right quick, Diva?
Of course you can. Yeah.
It bothers me that Giselle was so uncomfortable with Chris being next to her or a few feet away from her in her room. When previously, for the past 4 or 5 seasons, you have discussed his meat to everybody.
That part, exactly.
But now he's making you uncomfortable, but you are freely and willingly participant in discussing his meat.
Yep.
Exactly.
You want to see it.
Yep.
I 100% believe
down to the color, down to the tip, down to everything.
She's a hypocrite.
I believe she do want to see it, and that's why she was like, but how can I use this for a storyline? Very, very evil woman, and that's why it's showing up in that neck.
Well,
Very
I have
evil.
a difference of opinion because I think that just because somebody thinks that you are attractive or they talk about your private parts, if Chris didn't have enough gumption to say that he felt uncomfortable and put a stop to it, that's not Giselle's fault. But just because I think because your wife has told everybody you have a black penis, that doesn't mean that I have to feel comfortable around you just because you come into a room. Two things can exist.
But why is she always so excited to see him though? She's always like, Chris, hugs. Why is she always so excited to see Chris everywhere?
She's excited to see Chris in a room full of other people who she knows in public. She said she didn't want to be behind closed doors with them. I can understand that.
It's the excuses for me.
Well, she's excited to see Chris because he's a man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well,
that's
I agree with that.
For me, just like she said.
I agree. Well, here's the thing, though. If that's going to be an excuse, then it's also an excuse that Candiace only went off on Giselle because it was misdirected anger for Chris. She was mad at Chris for accepting the apology, and so she took it out on Giselle. So if we have an excuse for seeing things from Giselle's point of view, then we have to call out Candiace making excuses too, right?
I just know that hell will
so
freeze over.
Candiace had a moment of selective outrage. I'm just playing with y'all. Give me hold on a second. Thank you for the super chat. Giselle has a crush on Chris. Yes, she does. And talked about his private parts so much in past seasons. Yes, she did. She felt uncomfortable because she was talking about them again. Yeah, you know what? Thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. You know what? I mean, I don't like the whole situation. I don't like the weak apology that Giselle gave. I just don't. The apology was after the blow up. I don't like the weak apology that she gave. I don't like it. Let me just add this to the conversation really quickly, so we can get ready to close out. I want to add this to the conversation. The extra footage that they showed when Robyn went on Watch What Happens Live. Again, it was a sad moment, right? It's like a woman, it's like seeing right before our eyes a woman defeated, a woman broken. And the reason why I say that, and I'm not just saying this because of the way I feel about it, I'm being very serious. She was sitting there looking so foolish. Even Ebony from formerly from the Real Housewives of New York, she was sitting there like, okay, girl, like, come on. They kept showing Ebony's face. And it was just telling it all. I don't care who you are. Nobody is this strong in their spot where they're not going to look at these text messages and dig a little deeper. Because if she was, and she claims that she was waiting for Karen to bring it up, right? If you was waiting for Karen to bring it up when it was brought up, why did you get so pissed?
Then lie about it.
Right, that part. Why did you and your husband lose your stuff when it was brought up if you were so-called, quote unquote, waiting for Karen to bring it up? It was a lies for me. Thank you, Hallie, for the super chat. It's the gaslighting for me. If a man says something about a woman's parts that makes her uncomfortable and she didn't say anything we would not say, it's her fault. Yeah, you know, it's the gaslighter. She's full of crap. What Candiace was saying about her was true. Candiace just didn't verbalize it correctly. Giselle gets away with everything. No matter what comes out her mouth. It could be reckless, and she gets away with it. And she comes to the reunion, and every time she gets busted for something, she comes to the reunion, she sits there, looks stupid, as like, oh my God, like, what are you saying? Like, why do you think it's me? She did it with Monique at that reunion.
It's her superpower.
No, she did it. Apparently, after Monique read her down from Genesis to Revelations, she had a meltdown, but they took that out of the reunion.
Well, she got her way. Right? She got her way because they didn't show us the meltdown. Yes, we did hear about that meltdown, but they didn't show it to us. But had it been Candiace that had a meltdown, had it been anybody else that had a meltdown, they would have showed it to make good TV. But Giselle had a meltdown, Andy protected her and everybody else, and they cut it out. Why is that? They never really hold her to it. Now, I think that Andy gave Chris his moment because the thing was so horrific and horrible what happened to him. But he took away his own moment by getting deflated when it happened. But back to Robyn really quickly, because we're going to close out with this. She's broken. She's a woman, and listen, if any female that ever been through a cheating situation, you recognize the face when you see it. She's broken. She's making excuses. She's scared to leave this relationship for whatever reason. I mean, I don't care how much money it is. There's other single. Giselle is up on the show single. Juan would have to go. And I promise you this, if she would get the courage to cut Juan off, he would get his life together, put him in the streets, and let him see what the streets is about. And I promise you, he will 9 times out of 10, he will bring his butt back and get it together. I say, put him in the streets. E, you said it before, switch him out. Robyn is playing games. Switch him out. You're losing all your self-respect and self-esteem. And like you said, Don, for a woman to sit there and say that I didn't put the clause in there because I want to cheat, that's not even what marriage is about. Y'all should have just stayed with the foolery and not get married.
Exactly.
Why get married? Why get married? You sitting on TV on a show that says The Real Housewives of, and you're getting married, and you're going to say, I might want to cheat. Like, it's so reckless and stupid, and you're raising 2 boys. It's like the trash and the garbage. I would not. Money couldn't mean that much to me. It couldn't mean that much to me that I'm going to sacrifice my seed and what he may think when he gets married, that this is okay. My mom and dad did it. Most people do what they see, not what you say. They're seeing the foolery and the mockery that their parents are making out of marriage and what they're doing for money. And it's documented. And I don't care what nobody say, their classmates are seeing this. Because the mother know, the kids are, that's their mother, their parents is on the Real Housewives of, they messy. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go around. We're closing this thing out with this last scene. Sebastian, I'll start with you. What do you think about the extra footage with Robyn and the foolery in this whole relationship with Juan?
Well, first of all, I don't even know why this show had to have 3 reunions. All of this nonsense could have just been done in one. Yes. I don't see what was new in that extra footage with Robyn that we didn't see in the trailer. I saw nothing that was new. I saw nothing. Nothing was new. Everything that was said at that extra little 2 or 3 minute video was everything that was in the trailer as well. I see how this show is very fake. All of them. I'm not even holding anything. All of them are fake. From Karen to Candiace, all of them are fake.
Except Candiace.
All of them are fake on this show. Bravo needs to give this show a reboot. I know that's what we're doing with New York. We need to do that to Potomac as well. And to Atlanta too. Atlanta needs one too. All these housewife shows are dying because these housewives are starting to get to their geriatric phases.
Oh my God.
We're not about to do the ageism, not the ageism.
Well, we clearly see with Giselle. Look at the wrinkles all over Giselle's face. It clearly shows.
Yeah, come on,
dang.
Don't do that. Don't do Sebastian. I'm moving on for you because Sebastian, Sebastian, stop. Don't do that.
Sebastian, one day you will be geriatric too.
I'm glad to though.
Hold on, I'm coming to everybody because I got to close out. Really, Sebastian, it's not even about the age. It's about the fact that you're not giving us your real life and that you're just lying.
They have nothing because that's the thing. When they get to this age, there's really nothing that much that we have not seen already.
Sebastian,
it's the truth.
No, go ahead, because I'm not dealing with Sebastian.
Sebastian just came around. All right,
let me know what Wendy did to Candiace. Sebastian, are you sure that's what you want to say?
Don't no mind, because I gotta close out. I'm coming around. Small. What are your final
listen?
thoughts?
I know as much as I throw shade and give Robyn the work, I have been a one Robyn Trunchbull Dixon in my own life. I know what it's like to be stuck up under the same guy for many years and hoping that he will be everything that I imagined him to be, or we would be together. So I can understand that part where she's going through. She's stuck. She doesn't really love herself or understand herself enough to realize that she can do better without Juan Dixon. And until she hits that rock bottom within herself to realize enough is enough, she's going to be playing this vicious cycle of Juan will be able to get away with murder and she'll still open him with open arms. So I hope that she sees the value in herself, and not only that, but sets an example for her son, because they're looking at, believe it or not, kids look at their parents' relationship dynamics, and that is their example of what they use for other relationships in their lives going forward. So I hope that she has that wake-up call eventually to be like, I want my sons to do better in their relationships with women, and I don't want them to repeat the same cycle that I am with their father. So maybe, hopefully, if Robyn takes a season or two, she'll let go of Juan and like really step into herself. I'll be excited to see that, Robyn. But until then, we're going to get the same thing of, oh, he didn't cheat. He just paid for her hotel and left. She's going to be stuck in a land of delusion.
Yeah, she is. And you said it perfectly, Smoke. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, she's stuck right now. And it's very sad to see. It's very sad to see. It actually, I was feeling sorry for her when I was watching Watch What Happened Live with Andy, because you can tell she was uncomfortable. You could tell she almost didn't even believe the lies that was coming out of her own mouth. And to say that they did not have any type of sexual relationship, girl, stop, bye. This man is running the streets. Be careful, Robyn. We're rooting for you. That's all I can say. Thank you, Smoke. Juice Radio, what are your final thoughts in this last scene with Robyn? And just before you speak, everybody, I did put in the chat, as technical as I could, but the Juice Radio and Talk Show has a channel on YouTube. Go check her out. Yes, go check her out. Go over there, like, subscribe. And she did a recap earlier on the Real Housewives of Potomac. It had a great panel. So go over there and check it out. Yes.
All right. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Diva. What I think about Robyn, I think during this whole thing, Robyn wasn't trying to save Juan. Robyn was trying to save Robyn. I don't think she was trying to save Juan at all. She knew what Juan was doing. She said it herself. She knew before they aired. She was trying to wait for somebody to bring it out. So she knew what Juan was doing. I think Robyn is just really trying to save Robyn. Is she going to leave? Listen, I don't know. Like Smoke said, he was in a situation similar like that. There's been a lot of people who've been probably in a situation similar to Robyn. And we all have to make that individual decision. Do we leave or do we go? But there's something that's holding Robyn there. We don't really know fully what it is. But until Robyn stands up on her own and says, I'm done, we could yell and scream it from the rooftop. There ain't no sense in us trying to back her up, beat Juan, none of that stuff, because it's going to take Robyn to do that. I am going to pray for her because I feel as though maybe Robyn's not looking at herself as a woman that can get better or get somebody better, because she's been with him all her life, even when they were teenagers. So there seems to be some insecurity there that will allow her to continue to hold on to him through all of this. And mind you, these allegations that are being said about Juan are only the surface things. We don't know all the other back things that have happened that haven't aired yet. So I'm gonna just pray for her. But she's gonna have to make a point where she's gonna have to decide either she's gonna show her boys the right way, or she's gonna continue to allow her boys to see the father's way and then have them repeat the cycle. So I'm gonna just pray for her. I'm gonna pray for her, and keep on moving. But the reunion 3 for me, this 3-part series, especially this 3rd episode, this could have been 30 minutes. I was so tired trying to do my review, trying to pull some information for this thing. It was a mess.
Yeah, a mess, a hot mess. You know what, though? Like we said, I'm gonna pray for her, and she was with him since a teenager, right? One, it's a lot of dynamics going on. You get comfortable. I'm guessing, I don't know their life. I'm guessing he was her first. It's so many dynamics going on there that, and the longer you stay, the harder it is for you to break away. Because you just keep making excuses, and you and she did say, did you catch when she said, we know what we're doing for our family and I trust him. It was some words like that. And I'm just like, girl, you know, what a lot of people don't realize is you do more harm when you want to stay together just for the kids. When that's the only reason that's holding y'all together, you really are doing more harm than you think good, because they're not seeing any true love. They're not seeing hugs from
Exactly.
daddy. They're not seeing kisses. They're not seeing true affection. They're seeing two people that are just tolerating each other so that kids can be raised in a home with their parents.
It's
It's
very
a mess.
awkward.
It is.
Very
I got
awkward.
a point I'll say, then I'll pass it on to the rest of everybody.
Uh-huh.
Remember when Robyn was in having her bachelorette party in the strip club with all the girls and how that smile was on her face? If you look real close, Robyn looked like that's the scene and that's the type of place that she likes to be in.
Yeah.
And maybe she's not ready to let the world know that part. And maybe that's why she wants to hold so tight to Juan, because it's not another man that allegedly she may be looking for. It may be the arms of a woman, but she don't know how to maybe let that out yet. That's her personal opinion.
Yeah.
All right, I got to look back at it. Denzel, what are your final words in this whole Robyn thing?
Look, you know, I don't really like Robyn. I do think that she's a liar, but you know, I knew people like her. You know, people will stay with somebody and they know that that person can't be trusted. You know, I really feel sorry for their children, because they go to school and then kids, they might watch the show. You know, it's very embarrassing. You know, it's very awkward. And you know, I hope that she can find self-worth and find somebody else, because that right there, that's not good. That's not good. And to know that the person don't love you, I understand that it might be hard for her, but she needs to, I know it's easy said and done, but she needs to find somebody else and just don't worry about him, because what we see on TV, it's very awkward. It's awkward. It's weird. And I pray for her too. Because she looked like a fool on What Happens Live. It was just embarrassing, and she just needs to get it together and raise her children.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Shan, what are your thoughts? Robyn, that final scene, that little clip they was making us wait from Andy, which again was a bunch of nothing. The best thing was seeing Ebony's face.
Am I the only one that cut off the reunion when that came up? Because blah blah blah. I don't care. I pray for her, but I didn't watch that part because it's the same old story for the past however much seasons. Bless her heart. Mm-hmm. All I do want to say is, though, I really wish there'll be some consequence one day. Maybe when we're all old and gone, that Giselle will have some consequences, because you can't just accuse a man of stuff like that. I'm not saying he did or he didn't, but you have to be careful with your words. You're on national TV. And again, y'all know I go for Candiace, but just to reiterate, I felt really bad because I knew what she was going to say, but I feel like the thing with Candiace is she gets so off on a rampage. She forgets this is national TV. Let me clean it up. And once again, Candiace is looking like, not the victim, and she is the victim. So shout out to you, Giselle, for having a special talent to always be the victim at the end of everything. That's real talent. I'm telling you. It's crazy.
No, it is talent.
Whoa.
Yeah, she always plays the victim.
It's crazy.
She's always the victim.
All season she does
just
the
like
most
Mariah
things, and then she comes to reunion, she looks pretty, and she's like, and then the other person is the one who's wrong. I'm like, whoa, that is a gift.
Diva, can I
Your
just step
only
in a little bit,
talent.
say a little something quick? So with
Yeah.
that, I think honestly, Giselle's life, she's the way what the cameras are not showing, I feel like she's paying right there, because I don't care how much money you get from these Bravo checks, you
Yeah.
cannot take away the fact
Misery.
that you're sitting at home alone in your bed by yourself while
Yeah, she's
everybody else
miserable.
has someone to
Miserable.
love them or care for them. So I feel like
Amen.
Giselle she puts up a good front, but honestly, I feel like she cries herself to sleep a lot because
She does.
her life is not what she thought it would be at this point.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
She's a
agree.
I agree
miserable
with that.
person.
But
Smoke.
the thing is, you're gonna destroy everybody else's, and like that's what I don't want to go
It's
far
sick.
because I'm
It's sick. I
It
don't
is
like I
sick.
don't like that either. She always want to play the victim, but she ain't no victim.
I agree.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Thank you for the super chat. Her parents are his since his died. It's guilt. Yes, guilt, and I think a lot of other things too. You
It's
know,
money. Let's stop. It's money.
I think it's
Robyn
a lot of
is.
things.
Ugh.
Let me go to Iris. What are your final thoughts, Iris?
Okay, Dave, I'm gonna try to make it quick. Watching that little last segment, I found myself holding my breath because I felt so bad for her. And of course, when she's, it's Giselle's side click, I can't stand her at all. But when she's this Robyn, I feel so sorry for her because I'm a woman, and like Smoke said, we have all been there and been strung along with a love that we just can't get rid of or don't want to get rid of. I think Robyn's problem is she's witnessed a struggle. They went from rags to riches, and once you get those riches, you don't want to go back there. Now she's found herself in a position where she can make money, but she's gonna have to have some support from Juan, and I don't think he loves her to that point. If I was her friend and I would give her some advice, I would say, one, figure out what you want out of your life and then do that. But be honest with yourself. And if you're going to be on this reality show, be honest to the viewers. And what I would say, look, we got children together. We've struggled together. We need this money. We're not really in love, but we're just trying to hold it together because we're trying to provide an environment and a home for our children. As a viewer, I could jump on board with that. Whether or not I agree with it, I could say, oh, well, that's her truth. That's real. And I feel like she just needs to do a 360, be honest with herself, be honest with the viewers, if she plans on remaining on reality TV, and then let people start to love her again. And not, she's just a joke to everyone now. And I feel bad for her because I can't even imagine what it's like for her every day. You can't turn on anything, and you're the main topic. But she should come on your show, Diva, and you do a one-on-one interview with her and let her just air out all of her truths. And I think she could go from there. And then, because then when she goes back to the show, then that's interesting. That's truth. We can relate to that. But I hope for her sake and for her boy's sake, that she can get it together. Because that's the only thing she controls herself. She can't control one. So I hope that, and I pray that she gets it, gets her life back on track, because as a woman, I can't even imagine the stress that she's under dealing with all of this.
You kind of see it in her face, right? And Callie Nola, I think we're all in agreement with that, right? Their relationship ain't real. It's a storyline, and especially because I want to say that this alleged mistress even said that Juan said they're just doing it for money in the show. But our thing is that you got kids involved. If it's just you single, hey, go up there on the reality TV, make up whatever you want to do and do what you want to do. But the kids are involved. And that's what makes this very messy and raggedy. Dadon, what are your final thoughts on this situation?
I'm so glad that the producers rolled tape when Robyn told or backed Giselle when Giselle said no man should be in the room in the hotel room with a woman, and then they rolled back
in the mouth
to the hotel, Juan being in the hotel with a woman. I'm so glad that they rolled that tape back.
Me too.
I do believe this was Robyn's exit interview from the show. I don't think she'll be back next season. I think they want to
God's willing,
give her 1 or 2 seasons off or if she does come back next season, she won't be full-time. She'll be a friend of.
Probably.
And also what you reap, what you sow, you're going to reap. And that's exactly what she's doing. She stood by Giselle as she attacked Chris for, not having this baby with Monique, for Ray liking her friend, Ray liking her other light-skinned friend, for Chris making her feel, quote, uncomfortable, for Michael, being gay or whatever he is. And, for Eddie smiling or whatever, or cheating on her, or cheating on Wendy because that's why she got her body done. Giselle is miserable.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Yes.
Giselle is miserable. She, she, like Smoke said, she cries at night. I don't believe she's happy with herself, and she's playing this character well. She's playing this character well because, you can't be happy with yourself when you're pointing fingers at everybody else. Every season, she has never had a storyline of her own.
Exactly.
They need to say, hey, and Andy tried to get it out of her when she didn't want to talk about her, her operation. Yes, she said, we'll talk about it later. He said, no, we're going to talk about it now. That's the first time that he's been assertive with her like that, ever. And, I appreciated him saying that to her. But, as far as Robyn can go. Ashley can go.
Yep.
And Jacqueline can go. And let's bring some, some real friends
Candiace
on the
could
show.
go.
And
Exactly.
Not Candiace. Don't get me started.
No, Candiace has a storyline.
Oh, yeah, she does.
She has a storyline.
She does.
But I just, let's get back to the real and funny scenes that they had. This was a good show, but it's no longer good because they have allowed Giselle to get away with humiliating these men and women for years. And I think this is the year that social media and the other ladies have really gotten into her ass. And they are not, if she try to do it next season, they're going to really shut her down and make her feel really bad about herself.
I agree. Let me go, E. What are your final thoughts?
All right. So can you hear me? Because I'm on a different device. All right. Because I missed a few parts about Robyn, so I'm going to make this quick. Someone that was the Don who said Candiace has a storyline. Candiace has the same storyline that's been done 900,000 times over. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Let's change the channel.
The shade. Okay.
No, and
let's hear her.
But also someone said, I don't think Giselle goes to bed. Giselle goes to bed alone at night. I think that Giselle is, no matter how old she is, Giselle is still attractive. And I think that Giselle shows us what she wants us to see. I do believe if Giselle goes to bed alone, it's voluntarily because do y'all know what the black men are sleeping with nowadays? I don't believe that Giselle is hurting for anybody to have sex with. So I want us to forget about that.
Okay.
Somebody also said, and I wanted to touch base on this. Someone said Juan may have been Robyn's first, so maybe that's why she stays. If that's true, and Juan was Robyn's first, then Robyn needs to go down to New Birth. There's a lake in the back. Let Pastor Holy Whore baptize her, and she'll be born again. Go find a new birth. That's how you do that.
There you go. You go.
My biggest question, though, for Robyn was, what was the purpose of getting a prenup if in the event either of them files for divorce, Juan can take half of everything? Isn't that the law anyway? What was the purpose of signing a paper that says he gets 50% of all the assets? The fact that she went to a lawyer and wasted time and money on this paperwork and signed it after Juan sat on camera and told her he didn't want anything from her financially, to me, that was just dumb, especially because she already caught him cheating. So what I'm actually beginning to think Michael Darby is the smartest financial wizard on this cast, because out of all
Yes, he
these folks,
is.
they just seem irresponsible with money, and it's insulting at this point. I was so happy though that Andy brought up the Coppin State lawsuit. Robyn was lying her ass off though. Excuse me, Diva, sorry about that. About Juan handling everything correctly between those two players. How would she know how Juan handled everything, but she didn't know anything about those text messages and never saw them, according to her? What about that woman that flew in from Canada? Make it make sense. So she doesn't know everything that Juan is doing because Juan is never around. And lastly, this is where I think she put her foot in her mouth. And we'll have to wait and see what happens if they decide to subpoena her for her testimony, is when she said that the player who filed the lawsuit was in fact catfish and preyed upon. I don't think that looked good for the university when Robyn said that to Andy. For the head coach's wife to say there was misconduct that took place and that her and the head coach had pillow talked about that wasn't cute. Okay.
Assistant coach.
If I was an attorney on that case, I would be down at the sheriff's office trying to get a summons to get to the to send to the Dixon's residence to find out what else Robyn may have known about that. You know what I mean? Lastly, I think it was a missed opportunity, and this is my closing point. It was a missed opportunity for Andy to address the fact why Juan think he's too good for the cast and too good to film. When Robyn said Juan doesn't like this, he thinks it's drama, he thinks it's bad. Meanwhile, his name is tied up in a civil suit down at the Superior Court. Juan is not too good for anything and anyone, especially a TV production, which has paid for the house he lives in, the food his kids eat, the clothes his kids wear. Robyn told us a few episodes ago that she makes more money than Juan. Why y'all laughing?
At you.
Why is it?
You speak the truth.
Well, wait a minute.
We throw shade. We don't give obituaries on this channel, okay? And that's what you're doing right now.
No, you take it. Go ahead, finish it.
If Robyn makes more money than Juan, then Bravo is a big part of it. So if the Dixons are too good for the show, then they should quit. I'm sure none of the husbands like the drama. I'm sure Ray doesn't like it. I'm sure G doesn't like it, but they show up for their wife. For the past 3 reunions, Juan has been absent. If Robyn cannot get Juan to film, then Robyn should be fired. From an HR and production perspective, Robyn is failing to meet the requirements of her position. She needs to be put on a final written warning because she is not a good fit for the role. And I'm calling for a recast. And that's how I feel about it. That's it.
Wow.
We agree.
That is
we can
a
agree with
woo,
that.
okay.
We can agree with that, E. That last part, I totally agree. 100%.
Hey, Diva.
Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second, Denzel. I will.
Okay.
Heard it
that was
here
good.
I heard it here from
The shade.
Denzel, yours, and then I'm coming to Roy and we're closing out. Yes, Denzel.
That wasn't shade. That was a eulogy.
Some people are saying this. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if that's true or not. Did Robyn, did she cheat on him first, or did he cheat on her first?
You know what, Denzel? I don't like to go in the past because they want to keep bringing that up. They both forgave each other, and maybe that's why she's constantly forgiving him, because she's feeling a little guilt because there's rumors that did cheat and that they lost money and this and that and that and that, and maybe that's why she keeps giving him all these chances. But you know what though? She got to forgive herself and move on. You don't have to let somebody keep walking on you over and over and over again. Wake up, Robyn. You are a woman. Let us hear you raw. But see,
exactly.
She has, you know what? I'm not trying to be funny. Robyn has selective outrage. She's mad at Juan.
She does.
But then she goes and she's in everybody else's face. Okay. She gets and when she gets mad, it's over anger. It's thank you, Chris Rock. Now we got a new term.
There you go.
Royer, what are your final thoughts?
He got to tilt the camera. He getting ready.
Yeah, you on mute. Unmute yourself, bro.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Overall, I'm just gonna give a synopsis of everything overall. I'm done with Potomac. I am done with Giselle. I am done with Robyn. I am done with Mia. And you know, at this point, Ashley may go ahead and join them too. We need to go ahead and send them down to the unemployment line and get them all lined up in their space.
No.
Yes.
Because the lies, the support of the lies, the harassment of people's husbands, you know, when is enough enough? You know, we can continue to sit up here every season and allow Giselle to do all of this drama. What makes her any worse than what Phaedra did?
Ooh.
Talk about it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And we was ready to kick Phaedra off immediately, and that's what happened. So where's the outrage? Ain't no where's the outrage?
Yeah.
Giselle never said
Get
he
him
ard
here.
her. Giselle never said he ard her. Phaedra literally
She
said
might as well
She
have.
alluded to it,
She might as well
Sebastian.
have.
No, she did
But
not.
you know what,
She did not.
Yes,
Sebastian,
she
I'm not here
did.
to address you. I'm not here to address you and
You
your
don't have to,
foolery.
Roya. I
I'm
got
here
him.
to
I
address
got
the
him.
closing of the show. We want them gone. We want them on the unemployment line, and we want
That's right.
consequences to be handed out. We don't need to
That's
see y'all
right.
for another 10 years on the Bravo network, period.
Amen to that.
As for the
Period.
Grand Dame, we thank you for your service this year. You did an excellent job. Unfortunately, she had to fly low because the rest of the heifers was going low, and so she was not going to allow them to take her down too low, but she had to go a little low with them to let them know, I ain't forgot. I can still get with you.
And
To Candiace.
speaking of Karen, one quick second. I don't know if y'all saw Karen on Watch What Happens Live with Larsa Pippen, but Karen
did.
looked so good on that show. She made
did.
Larsa look stupid. I was like, wait a minute, this woman is 20 years younger than Karen, and Karen looks better than her on this show.
She was gorgeous.
That's
Better,
all,
she
you know.
looked better on that than she did at the reunion.
Reunion.
Her
She
reunion
did.
face
Yeah.
was not good, and her reunion here was not good. But when
No,
she
it was
came,
bad.
what happens live after, she was showing all legs. Come on, give it up
She
for
was
the Grand
gorgeous.
Dame. The
Legs,
gorgeous
Yes.
figure,
and
the
body.
legs, the outfit, the body,
Yeah.
everything.
She was giving.
That's why, you know what, whoever gave her that reunion look, they get an F. They should be fired.
Immediately.
Hey, weren't y'all saying
If
Karen
Matt
was
has
the best
something to
dressed?
do with
Oh
that,
my
Matt needs to get fired.
Yes. Fired.
He's inviting Charisse to the party. He's giving her that terrible look. Yeah, no, listen.
Where did she
Karen,
get mad from?
Where did she get mad from? Karen was showing the leg, and she
Oh
looked
my
good
goodness.
on Watch What Happens Live with Andy. She killed
She
it.
did. She did.
And wait, and what's his name was in the audience for Laura.
Oh, Marcus
Larsa.
Jordan.
Yeah, he was in the audience. Whatever.
He was in the audience. The
looking
16-year-old.
foolish.
Oh.
Looking foolish. Didn't know what to say. He was looking foolish. But we'll talk about that another
Mm.
time. All right,
Well, he
guys,
was sitting
listen.
watching his babysitter, Diva. He was watching
Hold
his
on, let me finish
babysitter.
up my point real quick. So with Candiace, I want to say thank you so much, Candiace, for your service this season. You have had a glow up spiritually, mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally, and
Yes.
physically. We are
Yes.
proud. You have done an excellent job. I stand behind Wendy checking you on TV because at least she was checking you in a positive way and held your back. Because when Mia threw those drinks at her face, I didn't see nor hear you trying to stand up for Wendy the way she was cheering and trying to cover your ass. Excuse me. So there needs to be a little thankfulness, ma'am, because everybody else let you sit on that couch and talk like you didn't have no sense. Wendy was the only one to have some real boldness to check you like a real friend would do. Then lastly, we would like to thank the Doctor for Degree, woman, Wendy Osefa, who came through this season, in your opinion, but in mine, she came through and she's doing a lot more than I'm sure you're doing. Wendy Osefa came through. She had surgery. She had children that she had to take care of. She had a husband. She had a mother. She had to deal with these frivolous little girls throwing drinks on her and assaulting her and making her seem like she was the problem issue when it was Robyn. It was Giselle. It was Mia. It was these foolish little girls who are too grown to be acting the way they act. But did Wendy stoop to their level? No, she did not. She dropped it low just a little bit, but she didn't stoop down to their level. So I would like to give my hats off to them. I'm sorry to come in so forceful tonight, but there was just some things that was said tonight that just triggered me. It made me go off. So I just had to come in and let the people know. I had to let them know. Y'all not gonna play Wendy. Y'all not gonna play Candiace, and y'all not gonna play the Grand Dame. Period. Thank you for joining Diva tonight. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe. Y'all make sure you watch all the Diva's videos. Support all the people that are on here because Diva is all about support. Okay, Diva, I'll turn it over to you to do the official closeout.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, listen, guys, that's it. It's a wrap. Listen, guys, I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed our reunion part 3 recap. Love everybody up here for coming through. Thank you for taking the train ride with us, but the train is pulling into the last stop. Y'all got
great show, Diva.
No more stops after that. Thank you. And so, Roy's World, he got a channel. Go over there, like and subscribe. We did a little, we did some type of thon on Instagram and got him up to 500 subscribers. And he wants to get to 1,000. We got to get him to 1,000 before the end of the month. So go over there, hit, and subscribe. Okay. All right. Juice Radio, in case you coming late, the Juice Radio and Talk Show has a channel. Listen, guys, go over there and support. I think we hit all the people on here that have a channel, but I want to thank all of y'all. This review will be nothing without everybody's different points of views and people remembering stuff that I don't remember. Okay. No, I was holding my girl Candiace down, and y'all had to remind me. She the one said out of her own mouth, nobody's colorist. E, thank you. Dadon, thank you. Denzel, thank you. Sebastian.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Oh,
Sebastian.
Diva, I know you did not do that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, Diva, I know you did not do that.
What did she do?
Thank you, Sebastian. Smoke, thank you. Juice Radio, thank you. Shan, thank you. Iris, thank you. And Roy, thank you. Much love. See y'all. Tomorrow night we doing Love and Marriage DC. If you don't watch Love and Marriage DC, I promise you.
You better watch tonight.
It's getting hot.
Watch Love and Marriage DC tonight and join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Y'all, if y'all think Potomac is a show, Love and Marriage DC is the show to watch, and be here Tuesday night for the review because we be having a ball. Diva be doing the thing.
What channel does it come on?
It comes on OWN.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Roy. Thank you. We got to go. This is the last stop, baby.
All right. Choo choo. Bye, y'all. Good night, Diva.